And Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign manager, Robby Mook, joins us now. He's currently president of the House Democrats Political Action Committee. Robby, good morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm assuming you stayed up all late last night to watch the debate.
I did, a little bit later than I expected.
Yes, a little bit.
Right?
We're all dragging a little bit.
Yeah.
Who stood out last night to you as somebody who can beat Donald Trump in 2020?
Yeah, what stood out to me was this chasm really opened up in the party. You know, it wasn't that evident in the first debate. There are two camps here, and they're arguing. One says got to be big, got to be bold. The other saying whoa, 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 whoa.
Do you see one camp as capable of beating Trump in 2020, and the other camp not? Yeah,
look, I see one camp as more capable of winning primary contest, basically, you know, with big ideas, big, bold ideas. That's what primary candidates like. I think there's a very good point, though. If the debate in the general election is about whether you get to keep your private health insurance, that's taking an issue that is a strength for our party right now and potentially turning it into a vulnerability.
That was the warning shot.
Real concern.
That was a warning shot fired by multiple moderate candidates last night, basically saying, we lose if you do this.
Yeah, and I think we need to let this play out. We need to let people talk, but I think both sides have a really good point. And it's going to be up to the voters to choose this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you were managing one of these campaigns and the goal was to beat Joe Biden, who right now is sitting atop of the polls, how would you do it?
Well, if last night's our textbook, okay, two things were evidence. First of all, the structure of the debate kind of hit the candidates off each other. So the format promotes conflict, essentially.
It did definitely promote conflict.
And the big and so candidates are going to go after Biden probably. And the question for Biden is, you know, if he has maybe one or two people coming after him, you can manage that. What if 6 candidates are coming after him? That's a lot to handle.
What do those candidates need to do to make a difference in the polls? Right now, he's way ahead.
Yeah, look. At some point, people need to win states. You know, we're very focused on these national polls, which, by the way, are meaningless. And really, Iowa, New Hampshire, you know, we haven't been talking a lot about that. They're really important. They're the first contests. So I'm looking at what candidates have the best operation on the ground and a message and you know, a rationale for their candidacy that really sustains and supports that. Take Warren. She's got a great operation in Iowa. And when I was watching that last night, I was trying to think if I were an Iowa activist, you know, I think there was a lot to rally around there. So
she's had momentum, and Major Garrett suggested in our first hour that essentially that if you look at last night and Bernie and Warren kind of tied, that in fact that's a loss for Bernie. You think that's so? Yeah,
it was really interesting because I do think they need some of what each other has, you know, and Warren definitely needs to take some away from Bernie. They clearly made a decision individually, I assume, to not go after each other. But at some point, we may see that they need to engage and take away. And look, Biden, too. Like, Biden has some that he needs to take. Harris tonight has got to win more African-American voters away from Biden, so we might see those sparks fly again.
Out of the entire panel last night, it seemed as though everyone got their shot in. Who do you think is going to drop out at this point? Who will make it to the next leg?
I think a lot of that's about money. Yeah. So a lot of these candidates, frankly, to get on that debate stage and qualify are having to spend money to raise money. They're having to get a lot of donors, and that can get very expensive. So I do think potentially in the early fall, some people will just have to face the music. Yeah. Other candidates have a nest egg, particularly some of these senators who could transfer money in. They can probably stay in through Iowa. But if you're not in the next debate, because you don't have enough donors, how are you getting the lift to grow a campaign organization?
So crunch time is coming pretty soon.
I think it's coming. If you're not in that next debate, how do you get your message out?
It was really interesting what you said at the top with the two camps, and you seem to suggest that the progressive camp can win in the primaries, but not necessarily in the general, and the moderate camp can win in the general, but not in the primaries. How do the Democrats go forward with that kind of split?
This is a classic tension in every single presidential race, right?
It's what happened in 2016.
It's what happened in 2012. We saw Romney getting pushed to the right and so on. It definitely was an issue in 2016. Look, I think any of these candidates can win against Trump. I think there are outstanding factors like the economy that are enormously important. What I do worry about is we won the 2018 election on health care and on this tax bill. And if those things are flipped, where we might raise people's taxes, where people's health insurance, where they're uncertain about what will happen with their health insurance, that could be a problem for us. And we just have to navigate that.
Republicans are good at that spinning. They'll see that weakness and.
Absolutely, they always want to turn your strength into your weakness. And
but
it's early.
Buttigieg said, as he said last night, they'll call us socialists no matter what.
And he's right about that. And that's why I think like trying to predict the general election isn't the right way to do this. Let's see who builds a sound campaign operation. You know, that matters too.
Don't call it this early.
Yeah, and don't also try to. I thought Buttigieg had such a good point. Don't try to put these artificial labels on people. Let's let the voters argue this out amongst themselves. And high turnout's a good thing. The more people that participate in the primary, the more that electorate will look like the general electorate, the better a candidate.
So then quickly back to question one. You think they all still have a chance to beat Trump in 2020?
Definitely. I mean, let's be clear. I think some of those candidates are a little bit more fringy than others. But, you know, I don't like this game of, you know, trying to play general election.
And quickly, are more people registering to vote?
Yeah, we're seeing. I mean, initial data I've seen. There is good registration. I think you're going to see that surge early next year. Actually.
All right.
Well, a very vigorous debate last night. Robby Mook, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks.